Hello and welcome back everyone. In this video I'm going to be talking about some changes I made, mostly minor, about my game. One of them it was kind of a big change, but I'm not sure how much of it I'm gonna use yet, but I'm feeling like I will find some good uses for it, hopefully in the future. And that is about the game AI. I tried to make the game AI behave more differently. Right now, it's acting a little bit, at least it's more mobile than it used to be. Normally it basically just stopped when it get close enough to the player, and it was not even doing anything. It was easy to hit it, and maybe that was a good thing because I'm kind of terrible at hitting it right now. But it also includes some complex behaviors. For that I use some tutorials for the flocking mechanisms and get game AI, and I will show you the end result and some of the stuff that I've made along the way. So this is what flocking behaviors can end up looking like. This is one implementation at least, and this is formed by a bunch of different behaviors combined. And so what's going on here is they get into groups together, they move together, and sometimes they change the groups, they go on their own way, and then they regroup again, and basically stuff like that. So let me just remove some of the behaviors, and it's gonna let's see how we're gonna change the play movements. So right now I closed almost all the the movements. Well, let's just get the cohesion together, and that is basically making them stick together more. As you can see, they're way more touchy with each other, and they just try to get into the middle of this group, which always kind of shifting anyway, so that also changes their movement. The other one is, let me just stop the cohesion and get the alignment. So they try to align each other with basically the group, so which means they're gonna be moving together at one direction. It's the thing that makes them move to it makes it look like they have some destination that they're trying to go. And let me just stop the alignment as well. And the other one is the avoidance, which makes them not hit each other as much. So let me just give them one avoidance. I can make it the avoidance range bigger or smaller depending on how I feel like it. And given all of them, they basically form these movements that we see. And I also added some other behavior which is nice, which means they're gonna stay somewhat close to the player, in some radius. So if we move, they're gonna kind of have to be forced to follow us. Eventually, it looks like they're going anywhere or everywhere. Some of them are teleporting, and when I stop, they're gonna just continue doing their movements that they usually do. I also made it so that they should avoid the players. I apparently closed it. Right now they when they get close to player, they oops, and they just change their path. And we can also make them avoid pretty much anything else. Let's just say a bullet. If I try to shoot them, they will try to dodge it pretty much, right? So it's kind of hard to shoot sometimes when it's kind of chaotic as well right now. But I toned it down just a bit because it kind of made it seem like the enemies have no idea what they're doing. And I also gave them some a general movement, let me show you what the end results usually look like. It makes I basically made them usually circle the player. So while doing that, they usually shoot, and when all this is happening at the same time, I made it so that the enemies are basically going to change how they behave. From time to time they're gonna change the direction of their rotation, and sometimes they're gonna change how much they're gonna avoid each other or the player or the bullets if you feel like it. So it kind of creates some interesting mechanisms from time to time. This could be really expanded upon, but I'm not sure how much in depth I'm going to be able to use this in my game, because most of them is going to be probably wasted a bit. But it has potential at least. Okay, now the next thing that I need to implement is a bunch of different bullet varieties. So enemies will, you know, use different kind of attacks, and sometimes I guess in the future maybe with power-ups we can imitate their bullet styles, so we can, you know, also get more powerful. But the problem is the way I wrote my bullet code is basically really not allowing any of that to happen. So if I want to create a new bullet, I have to basically just write the code from scratch and just change the parts where I feel like should, you know, behave differently, which is fine. But now, like, the rest of my code, when they're dealing with a bullet, would need to know like which bullet it is, because, you know, otherwise it's just going to really confuse them if I give them like a different type of bullet than the bullet they're using right now. So I would need to, like, I guess, create a like more generic class for a bullet upstairs, and just, you know, just use them from the hierarchy inside the, I guess, other classes, so they could just like just move on without like worrying about what type of bullet they're dealing with. So I guess it's one of these things that were important in my like object-oriented class that I did not heed, I guess, in my time of need. So here I was just looking at some like design patterns. This is this, I guess, book, and like Unity is just sharing. It's like basically, you know, game programming design patterns, so like that you should watch out for, and it has like some, I guess, small implementation. And page 39, it just has this, I guess, design pattern called this factory pattern, which I feel like suits what we need to do. And it's, well, you can understand from the name, it's basically a spawner of sorts, and, you know, it can spawn any type of products, I guess the word that they use. And to make these, I guess, things work, I need to make a interface called the product, and all these, I guess, stuff that needs to be spawned from the factory need to implement this product interface. And I can make like child factories and make it like a factory manager, so, you know, they're just gonna, without like knowing what the factory A is, they just can call the factory A its like create function, and so they can just create this product that's created by the factory A, which I assume is product A, and it just, you know, goes on like that. So it has like some implementation details and stuff like that, and it says, you know, there's some stuff that, you know, you should like try to watch out for, like if you want to know what product is like belonging to which factory and whatever, you can use like a dictionary, so as a key value pair, so you can like do some search faster, which makes a lot of sense. And you can like, you make your, like, this factory manager static, which I'm gonna make it static. I'm probably just even gonna make it singleton, because I don't think I'm gonna need like bunch of factory managers. And definitely, like, I don't feel like any of the bullet types will have more than one like factory. Some factories might make more bullets, and maybe I will use this pattern, I guess, for enemy spawning as well. But, you know, I don't feel like there's gonna be two factories making the same thing ever happening. So making them like static or singleton, I feel like it makes sense. So I'm also obviously have to need to combine this with the object pooling pattern, because the last time I did not do it. We see what happened, and we don't want to like something like that happening again. So I'm gonna implement just this. All right, now it's been a lot of coding until now, and we're finally gonna test the new bullet system. And since my code is a highly coupled mess of spaghetti, at least it used to be, now it's a little bit less so. I'm gonna assume we're gonna have quite a few bugs, but let's see, you know, how we do. Okay, yeah, it's not working at the first time. We got some weird stuff happening with the bullets. We got one little bug, I guess, and when we try to shoot, we have more bugs. Great, we got bugs. Alright, now I fixed the errors, and they were pretty simple. The reason it was happening was, well, because I forgot to normalize the vector at the direction vector at like one of these locations, and the other one was, I think I was using the same object in multiple places, which was creating some, I guess, collisions, which I also fixed. And the third error, I think it was just, you know, not really an error, it kind of fixed itself, so that's great. So I think I'm gonna call it for this video, and for the next video I'm gonna be talking about the new boss's attack patterns. And, well, you know, I don't want to spoil it too much, but, you know, you might see some like new, I guess, bullet variants file for the new boss. So I guess I'll see you there. Goodbye.